Hey there. Welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Ruth. So, Ruth says, I think I need a proper break because I've never had one and I've always been on the go trying to people please so that I can survive. After a particularly stressful few years, I feel like I was too tired to do anything. And she says in parentheses, although I know my anxiety is thought in my head, but I still can't afford to take a proper break, so what should I do? And then there's a second part to the question that says, and I'm confused about what I should be doing in life, and I don't know if I'll have a job next year. So should I be feeling calm and happy or lost and worried? Which I love that part. So meaning she doesn't know what she wants to do with her life career wise, I guess, and she may not have a job next year anyway. Should that lead to calm and happy and open and full of possibility, or lost and worried? Okay, so Ruth, I'm going to speak to the first part first. So you say you feel like you need a proper break because your work is exhausting. You're always trying to make other people happy. There's a lot of anxiety, I know, but, and it's been a really stressful few years, you say. Um, and then you say, but I still can't afford to take a proper break. So I guess there's a lot. There's a lot I want to say, but I guess, I think it's really big for us to see how much our mind tells us what's what and how much we buy it. So our mind says, uh, you need a proper break, and here's what a proper break looks like. Our mind says you need to work like crazy and make all these people happy so that you can survive. Our mind says, there's a ton of anxiety and I'm exhausted, and the way to relieve this is to step back from it. Every single thing we feel, experience, like every little bit of our human life, of life, always in any given moment, is coming from thought. It's coming from our brains. It's this mental activity with me at the center of it, with Ruth at the center of it in your case, right? And so we just live in this, and we're like a fish in water with it, and we just don't realize. None of us do, Ruth. None of us. We live fully immersed in this. We don't realize how that our mind is just churning out these stories, churning out these perceptions. Now, it's not a story that you're exhausted, that you're feeling exhausted, that you experience anxiety. Like, that's your experience, right? But I guess there's like such a hard to talk about big way of sort of backing up a bit and seeing the churning of experience happening, seeing a mind busy at work of who you need to make happy and what that needs to look like, and now how anxious you're feeling, and now how a break would fix the anxiety, but now how you can't take a break, blah blah blah, ping pong back and forth all the time. This is just what it is to be human. This is what a mind is always doing. And I think, Ruth, if you can just feel into that. Now, it doesn't answer any questions for you. What I'm saying doesn't tell you what to do, what kind of break to take. It doesn't go there at all. I'm not even touching that. I want you to see that the whole question, all these questions, the whole problem comes from moment to moment thinking that feels so real, and like it's all tied together into this story about Ruth and who Ruth is and who Ruth should be and how life should feel for Ruth. And when we have that, and we all do, and it feels super thick and real and solid and like us, like, man, I mean, of course we're going to jump in and try to solve for that. Of course we're going to say, no, but I do feel anxious, and what do I do? And I think a break would help, and that's all fine and well. Maybe a break would help. Maybe it doesn't matter. I have no idea. But I think you're going to know. I know you're going to know as you see what's going on, as you see, wow, there's this whole big churn and story, and I'm in the middle of it, and that means this and that, and again, Ruth, this is not just you. Every single human on earth knows exactly what I'm talking about. We all have this churn in this story. So I just want you to see a little bit of the nature of that, and it's going to make a huge difference to just get curious about that, and to it softens the edges in some way on these stories and all of the stuff we think we need. And when those edges are softened, that's when we tend to just kind of see things that we can't currently see. So I don't know what a proper break is or what your mind is making that into, Ruth, but with the edges softened around all this, maybe you find some kind of break that may or may not be proper, but it works for you. Maybe you see that you don't need a break. I don't know. Maybe you see that breaks are happening all the time. When your thinking calms down for a minute, there is a break. And you get to actually feel that and enjoy it and be rejuvenated in the space that's there right now without needing to like stop work and take a leave and all of that, which I'm guessing is maybe what a proper break looks like. Maybe you don't need any of that. We're getting breaks all the time. All the time. Our mind will just settle for a second. We'll just, even in a conversation like this, you just get a little vague sense sometimes that it's not as real as it feels, and that gives you a bit of a break. And maybe there's a way in which you can just kind of let that refresh you, and let yourself touch your home base a bit in that, and let it rejuvenate you so that you can go off into the next moment. We're getting breaks all the time when we're out trying to people please, and then it just occurs to us, oh, maybe this is just old habit. Maybe this is just where my brain goes all the time, where my mind goes, but I don't have to make other people happy. Maybe I can't make other people happy. All of those tiny little insights and glimpses can be breaks, because I just want you to see, Ruth, that this whole tired, exhausted, anxious thing, there's a big story in there, and seeing through that helps so much. And I don't even want to say seeing through that, but looking in the direction of that, just being curious about maybe this isn't as it appears. That alone will start to clear things up, soften those edges, and you'll have brand new thought about just how to be in a moment that feels more, I don't know, just more at home, I guess. So I love your second question too. You don't know what you want to be doing in life in terms of this work that you're in anyway, and you may not even have that job next year as it is. So should you, and I know these are just words, but I just love how our mind puts it like this, like, so should I be feeling calm and happy? Like, oh, who knows? I'm here now, I don't know what's coming. Might as well be calm and happy. Or should I be feeling lost and worried? And of course, I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to say. I mean, first of all, there is no should to how we feel, because none of it is up to us. So just even the question, which most humans would ask, it's okay. It's a question we ask. How should I feel? How should I look at this? How should I think about this? We ask that as if we have a choice in the matter, and we don't. We see and feel and experience what moves through us. So you don't have a say in what shows up. I know it can feel like we do, and it can feel like we can camp out in lost and worried if we want to, and maybe you can kind of choose to fondle those thoughts and play in that pool a little bit. Maybe sometimes it feels like you can choose to play in the pool of calm and relaxed and happy. That's okay, fine, but even aside from that big thing, right? That big question of like, am I really choosing what moves through me? Is sort of like, why in the world would there's no benefit to lost and worried? At least if you're calm and relaxed, you're having a decent experience. Lost and worried isn't going to do anything for you. The more lost and worried we feel, it doesn't prepare us. It doesn't give us fresh new ideas. It doesn't give you insight into what you want to do next. It does nothing but just having you feeling a feeling of lost and worried. And similarly, I think I can say the same for the other side. Calm and relaxed doesn't do anything for you in terms of, oh, if you're calm and relaxed, you'll have a bigger insight about where to go next. I don't know. I don't know that it works that way. I think we just feel the energy that's moving through us. And I don't think we really have a say in it, but I certainly wouldn't, to the extent that it feels like you have any ability to kind of replay thoughts or hang out somewhere. There's no upside to lost and worried, and at least with calm and relaxed, the upside is you feel calm and relaxed. So I hope that makes some sense. And really what I hope it does is just kind of take a lot of the pressure off of all of this. It's not up to you to choose, and And even if you could choose, what you choose doesn't have all these lasting implications. We're just feeling this ebb and flow of life as it rises and falls within us. And when we see something about that, like when you see that, there's just not the pressure. There's just not the meaning. There's just not the heaviness on any of it. We just feel stuff, and in the next moment, we're going to feel something completely different. I hope this is helpful in some way, Ruth. I don't know. I know it's a little big, and it leaves you to kind of just sit in some really big ideas and see how things gel. But I can tell you for sure that when people sit in these really big ideas, things do gel. They're always gelling all the time. So I hope it's helpful in some way. So thank you for sending your question. Thanks everyone for listening. I'll see you guys back here next Monday. Have a great week.